Hello and welcome back to Taylor's Workbench. Still very much pink-eyed. Can you believe it? Crazy. Elderly folks in sports. Ha! Okay. But this is about modeling, so this is what we'll do. You may be remembering that once upon a time I built this Admiral Graf Spee for the Scale Model Addict competition, the Big Spring Contest 2013, and due to the guidelines of the due to the guidelines of this competition, I did not build a seabase for the ship right away because I didn't want to compete in the section for dioramas, but with the ships only. So I left that away and I took on to building this seabase after I had finished the ship. Now, the state of affairs is as follows. Whoops, let me take the camera. I'm turning this around. Okay. This is, a bit more lighting for you. Okay. So this is what the ship looks like right now. You can see there's good progress on the seabase. The ship is basically done. There's still rigging to be done. But first of all, I will be finishing the seabase. This has a reason. The rigging will be so delicate that you do not want to move the ship or the model around once it's finished. The rigging is going to be pretty much all over the center structures of the kit, and so it's better to have everything fixed on the seabase before progressing any further. Alright, you can see, I think the hull is pretty much in place right now, and you can see that the model can still be moved around and it's not really in the water. You can see there is a gap between the hull and the seascape, and that needs to be closed, and we will use so-called crystal gel for it. It's an acrylic compound that you can buy in any art supply store. It's very nicely suited for the task at hand because it dries all clear, and it has a very nice texture to it. As well, it's much better suited to the modeling task as it doesn't collect as much dust as, for example, Future as a finish. Okay. By the way, I managed to break off some railing back here and a part of the 20mm gun. That'll be fixed quite soon as well. Okay, so first order of business is there's the hole to screw down the hull. This will be going right through the barbette right here and back here, and once this is fixed, I'll be merging the hull with the seabase by application of crystal gel. I'll be showing you that in due process. See you in a bit. Bye bye. Okay, getting ready to merge the ship with the base. I have screwed down the hull to the board, and I'm getting ready to merge the hull with the seascape by really putting the hull into the water. To do so, I have this acrylic compound here. It's called Kristallgel. This is something, of course, I have here in the German market, but I'm very sure that you'll find equivalents of this substance in every market around the world. This is an art supply medium. It's fairly cheap, I have to say. It's sorry. This one's 500 milliliters, and it's probably, I don't know, 300 grams, and it's fairly long lasting. I think it was about, I don't know, 15 euro or something like that, which I think is, compared to the paints we use, is quite cheap. You see the substance, well, you see or you don't. There's no contours to that. You see there's this gooey substance, and you see it doesn't come out of the jar by itself. You have to have a tool. You can use all kinds of brushes. Okay, let's do this. I'll be starting with the clear gel. I have another one which is white. This I will use to shape up some waves later on, and I will use crystal clear stuff and white stuff and blend these into different shades of white, of translucent white. Okay, let me reset the camera. I'm having some water ready in a glass, and I'm having some window cleaning agent to take the tension out of the water, and I will need to clean the brush I'll be using. Here it is. I'll be needing to clean the brush because this acrylic gel dries on the brush and it's getting harder and harder to manage. So first of all, I'm dipping the brush into the water to get a better flow of the acrylic gel. Okay, now I seriously hope that, I cannot see it from my angle, but I seriously hope that will show in the video. And if you can see it, it's still that gooey substance, but this time it's actually very easily moving and attaching to the brush. And the first thing I'll be doing is just fill the gap between the hull and the seabase very carefully. Just close all the open gaps, because these are the ones you don't want to have on your display. Don't be careful not to touch the hull in too many places. You don't want this wet look to end up, and make sure that you give the structure of the gel a nice and wavy structure as you go along. It is preferable to take some kind of a white brush with a stiff but not too stiff bristles, because this will give you a good lead for your acrylic gel, and will allow you to softly apply structures all along the way. I don't know if this really shows on the video, so I'm doing this in several places, and I hope you can pick up what I'm doing here. You can see that the gel is pretty white right now. This is kind of okay because you can easily see where everything is going and if there's still gaps open. But this will dry completely transparent. There are different types of acrylic gels, and you need to try out the best in your market, because some of these acrylic gels tend to turn yellow after some time. I have some older models where I just used transparent gel, and that was just not sufficient. Okay. I'll be continuing this. Just watch as I go along. Alright, while we're waiting for the gel to dry, I turn my attention to repairing the railing I've knocked over. That's not too interesting, so I'll spare you that detail. As soon as I get back to building the water base, I'll be back with you. See you in a bit. Bye.